Good evening and welcome to your NPL New South Wales Men's Clash on this Sunday evening. My name is Nate Patrick and I'll be here to take you through this action between Hakoah Sydney City East FC and Rockdale City Suns. It's a massive game for both sides, but for two very different reasons. The home side, with that tight loss last week here at Hensley, find themselves rooted to the bottom of the ladder. Mount Druitt's win over Manly means the gap is forming. Meanwhile, for Rockdale, that result last week for them being 2-0 up against Marconi before conceding 5 straight means they slip out of the top 5, currently sitting in 6th position. It is, of course, Hakoah in their traditional blue kit, Rockdale with the yellow and red. Hakoah slow starters quite often this season, often finished games strongly. Take a while to warm into them perhaps. There's been a few changes for Hakoah, most noticeably Coombs coming out of the lineup. As for poor Addison Sayan, he's out of the squad altogether after that pass across the face. Presented Lokalingoi with Sutherland's 2-1 win. This is Bradley Walker getting it up the line for Hakoah. Ball inside El Hafian. Free kick taken quickly. Ball over the top, headed inside. Walker nice and calm all the way back to Norval. Ezekiel up the field. Well defended. Ryan Norval really kept that scoreline tighter than it could have been for Hakoah against Sutherland. Some outstanding work from him, particularly in a one-on-one situation. Hakoah got back into that contest, made it 1-1 before that aforementioned giveaway. Can they turn it around this week? Hakoah bursting through the middle for a little tug on the jersey. Gavin Ray speaking how he wants his team to be a bit more direct in their build-up, often trying to play the beautiful football, keep it along the ground. Nothing wrong with a good long ball forward if you find your target man. This one's spread to the left. Robert Ezekiel plays it to Swadling, who impressed with the limited opportunities he had last week. Ezekiel, the long ball, punched clear quite comfortably. Pratasevic, one of many excellent goalkeepers in this competition this season. Both gentlemen on the pitch today have found themselves on the team of the week on at least one occasion. Goodness knows some heroics may well be required. That's some beautiful footwork to get this play underway. Eventually, turnover is forced. Rockdale on the other side, able to play the beautiful football. Did have that 2-0 lead last week before an absolute onslaught from Marconi ruined that day. Here's Vranic playing it to the right-hand side. Ball is deflected. It will be a corner kick for Hakoah. Adrian Vranic straight into the starting 11 for Hakoah, coming across from Mount Druitt. For Vranic, it's a case of going from the second worst team to the worst team as the ladder stands. Can he help Hakoah charge back up the table? This one is drilled towards the back stick. Easily defended and well cleared. Hold up play from Fegan is fantastic. Able to bring teammates into the game. The support runs coming now. Neil down this left-hand side. the top of the area. Ezekiel coming across to try and stop the danger. Eventually, Fegan drifting into an offside position. Bradisevich with the restart. Going. Norval, of course, my apologies. As I get my bearings early on in this contest. We move on. Neil down the line. Well over his man, Walker. Happy just to punt it forward. Ball across to the right-hand side, a little heavy. Sorge unable to keep it in play. Norval, of course, with his changed goalkeeper strip from last week. Must be clashing with the Rockdale jersey. Here's Rockdale on the attack. Numbers breaking. They go down the left-hand side once more. Sasha Makura. El Hafian inside. Ball was looking for Sorge. Does regain now. Braden Sorge back towards the middle. Good retention from Rockdale. Searching for Jurasevsky. Now it's Vranic for Hakoah. Lovely footwork. Draws the foul. Rockdale may well be looking for Jurasevsky. Of all the strikers in NPL New South Wales, has some of the least amount of touches. And what he does with the football is often quite magical. You know, he won't stop running all evening. Spread across well. Ezekiel intercepts. Nice and tidy from Hakoah. Out to Swadling on this left-hand side. Happy just to pump it clear over the top of Gauthier. Perhaps another one of those strikers doesn't get a lot of football. Meanwhile, Rockdale on the attack. El Hafian inside, the cutback. The shot over the crossbar. So much time to take the shot in the end. Fegan leaning back slightly as it goes over the crossbar. Taken short. Bradley Walker searching for Vranic over the top of him. Lovely ball over the top. Continues that run now. Shanak happy to go backwards. Petkovsky wants some movement from his team. Not a lot forthcoming. Now Neil in a little bit of bother. Does go all the way back to Bradisevich. Finally sorted that one out. You have to say, well defended Hakoah. The quick ball forward in between the two defenders. Comfortably into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Hafian drifting deep to try and start the play. Green steps out of his line to create the space. El Hafian, the ball over the top. Searching for Shanak. Unable to keep that one in play, but good intent by the away side. course, it wasn't that long ago. Rockdale went on that 6-game winning streak. Really looked like they were surging up the table after that managerial change. Things have just stalled slightly. Enough time left in the regular season to get back into the top 5. Robert Ezekiel inside. Jones all the way back this time. Walker, the long searching ball. Cotton holding it up. Now bringing it back. Looking good, but going nowhere. Eventually, the turnover from Oliver Green. Foul on Neal after he played that ball up the line. Comes back now. Understandably tense affair already in these opening 10 or so minutes. Just looking at the shape of the teams, Hakoah really with 2 banks of 4. Gauthier playing slightly off Vrancic at this stage. Rockdale really with 3 up top, and that's why they're finding it hard to pass it through. They've got numbers searching for a long ball over the top. 1 man at each fullback. Central striker. That means the 3-man midfield having to work very hard to try and find some space. Hakoah's shape at the moment, you have to say, working in these very early stages. Green back to the right-hand side. Clever little touch. Harry Jones, now pressure for Cotton. Connor Shattuck waiting for that ball to be retrieved. Gauthier drifting off to receive it. Hakoah more than happy to go back to retain possession. Ezekiel under pressure. Shattuck looked shoulder to shoulder. Referee saying it's overstepping the mark. Ezekiel no doubt relieved. Ball forward to Swadling. Swadling out-muscled, trying to burst through the line. You see the hand raised from Fegan. Swadling going down, but really you have to say, well after he'd played that ball through. It was a touch, but if anything, it was incidental. He's absolutely fine. Long ball into space. Trying to chip the goalkeeper. Sneaky effort there from Cotton. Managed to get in between the left back and centre back, but his effort not testing the goalkeeper. Header straight into his own path. It's only going to go straight out of play. Bowick. He's not had a lot to do early. Pedge Bowick. course, formerly of Sydney FC, Central Coast Mariners. How much his team need his leadership. Sorge. Inside El Hafian. Plays it through. Little dink to effort towards goal. Norval cutting that out. Shanak doing well early on this right-hand side. Throw back out to Hakoah's left. Ezekiel to Swadling. Goes inside, finds Gautier, who is now drifted back. Forwards from both teams. Forced to come back into the midfield. That is Gautier who had made that run back up. Well defended. It's been a little game of counter-attack so far. Midfield very congested. Hafian. Back to Egger. Back to Pekoski. Sorge inside. This has been patient from Rockdale. They are managing to get into that final third. Lovely ball spread to the left. Linesman says, however, that's offside. It was nice controlled build-up play from Rockdale. Run perhaps just made a little too early. Regardless, that will encourage Nick Pareka no end. Key for them, for Rockdale, will be to do it throughout the 90 minutes. Green under pressure, manages to squeeze it out to Ezekiel. Charging down this left-hand side. Swadling back to Ezekiel. Clever footwork from the left back. Ball inside, a little aimless. Lovely first touch from Cotton. Dig ball to the back post. At the end of the day, Sorge will say, I'm just getting that out of danger. Is another corner for Hakoah. Hakoah goalkeeper Norval up near the halfway line, issuing some instructions. Here's Swadling swinging it in, shanked clearance. He'll get a second go at it. Can he clear the first man on this occasion? Josh Swadling, similar delivery. Cleared away again. That time from Egger. Third attempt for Swadling. All cleared away. Hakoah throw in on the far side will be taken by Connor Shattuck. Cotton unable to play his way through. That's well read by Ezekiel. He came across all the way from that left-hand side just to mark his man. Now charging into the area is Shattuck. Goes down, no foul given. Another turnover now. Cotton driving into the area towards the back stick. Once again, Sorge perfectly placed. Finally, Rockdale able to get it clear. This already looks like a very different Hakoah 11 than we saw last week. Of course, not just on paper, but in their intentions. Often the slowest starters of NPL New South Wales first men's football. No doubt Gavin Ray's had words with his side, alongside his personnel changes. It's a more steely edge. Header onwards, foul drawn Referee plays the advantage. Oliver Green under pressure, happy to go back. Ezekiel driving forward. Space to deliver the ball in. More hits the defender than anything else. Now the shot deflects. That will be offside from Gauthier. Bit of lack of communication from the Rockdale defenders. They're now trying to sort it out among themselves. Protasevich wanting to play it quickly, unable to do so. Those two front men, Vranic and Gauthier, marking the centre backs. So we go long. Good header back inside. Sorge happy to go back. It's tense here at Hensley Athletic Park. Ball is kept in. Whole ball not going over the line. Linesman perfectly placed. Makura. Now the run forward. The shot on goal. El Hafian unable to find the target, but encouraging signs for Rockdale. El Hafian getting on the score sheet last week. No doubt he would have traded his goal for a few of the remaining 5. Meanwhile, Hakoah swaddling. First time ball back across, looking for Gauthier. Well cut out. Rockdale sitting very deep. Some would say they play their best football on the counter-attack. However, this is inviting a lot of pressure. First header was from Neil. The rest of his teammates doing a very tidy job. This long ball, not long enough. Clever first touch from Swaddling. He's got Ezekiel on the left. He underhits his pass. Undoes all of his earlier good work. Makura with good feet. We go to this right-hand side. Shanak all the way back in almost a right fullback position. Vigon had some contact on him. Referee waves it on. Gauthier unable to get past his man. Brilliant footwork again. Sash Makura. Rockdale have been going down this right-hand side in most of their attacks, and here we go again. Shanak with the big leap. Ezekiel better placed. So we have an early substitution made. Can only assume that has to be an injury. Bowick, who I mentioned, hadn't been effective or even looking to make a touch on the football. Normally happy to drive forward. That will give Coombs a chance at redemption. Starting last week, on the bench this week, and yet 20 or so minutes in, finds himself on the pitch. Pej Bowick. Looks like he's getting potentially that right thigh looked at. Not what Hakoah need. Meanwhile, El Hafian. Belting ball to the left-hand side. The strike just across the face. Did take a deflection. Rockdale corner. El Hafian absolutely fizzing that one across the edge of the box. Rockdale into a good area. The flick header over the crossbar comfortably. Jaroszewski, who's playing on that left-hand side with their excellent delivery. Vranjic in the back of his man. Needless foul, really, no doubt. Adrian wanting to impress his new team. That's not the way to do it. Egger. Out to this right-hand side once more. Hakoah have the numbers on this side of the pitch too. That's a bit of a needless turnover though. Harry Jones. All the way back we go to Norval. Norval under a bit of pressure, able to get it clear. Coming forward now. Shanak. Shot well blocked from Bradley Walker. Either needed to play his man through or take that shot on a little earlier. That throw-in routine breaks down. Perhaps in itself a sign of how tense this affair really is. Different things on the line, but so much on the line for both clubs. Egger underneath this one does well. Now Gauthier driving infield. He's got Green. Green on this right-hand side. Shattuck on the overlap. Ignored. Very, very deep to Vranjic. Too deep. Rockdale a goal kick. Both teams searching for that final ball. Whether it's been direct or patient build-up. Been able to get it into their opponent's box. And the final cross, final pass, just not forthcoming as it stands. Once again, you see these two front men of Hakoah stopping the play out from the back. Long we go. Coombs underneath it, able to get it clear initially. Cute header. Back to Norval. Baby blue Norval. Finds Swadling. Composed footwork from Egger. Petkovsky now. He's not driving as far forward as we've often seen. Perhaps Nick Pareka trying to get his unit, his back four, nice and tight. There is a turnover though. Rockdale driving at the defence. Placed, well saved Norval. It's still in, and it will be finished this time. The first shot was from Shanak. Love the celebration. Fegan with that final pile driver. And that's 1-0 to Rockdale. I pause only because there's quite a few number of bodies down in the box. There's still two down now. One from Rockdale, one from Hakoah. Hopefully everything's okay. Coombs, the man who's just come onto the pitch. One of them receiving treatment. I believe both players having an ankle, or at least lower leg looked at. Bit of an odd one. Often if you see two players down at the same time, you assume there's a head clash. It's not the case here, thankfully. Shanak is up and hobbling for the time being. Not sure if the news is so good for Coombs. Will Hakoah be forced into yet another change? Well, that was eventful, the most outstanding event in all of that, of course. Rockdale with their goal. Few opportunities for the final shot, absolutely lathered into the back of the net. Nothing Ryan Norval could do. That all came about from that turnover, or interception, just depending what side of the fence you're on. Might need to have a look at that one on the video to make sense of everything that happened. This ball is spread to Shanak. Rockdale, it looks like, full of confidence now with that goal. Already, you see the running. Front men into the area. And the midfielders driving back with passion. Mikura wants to play this ball out to the left. Delayed it a little bit. Ball races out of play. Jurasevsky's not had a lot to do on the left-hand side, but when he counted, he put his hand up. Foul here on the Hakoah wide man. Connor Shattuck is okay. Hakoah's season going from bad to worse. It is a cliche, but it simply is a must-win game, or at least trying to get a point, trying to get some momentum back in their season. Their last win came against Rockdale. 3-0. And it is Rockdale driving forward. Shanak closed down, falls kindly. Jurasevsky still going into the area. Ryan Norval with a clutch save at the near post. Alec Jurasevsky. Lovely footwork to get past his man. Pops the shot off. Will just be a corner. As I alluded to earlier, Coombs did not look good. He came off worse for that challenge. Having come onto the pitch himself as a substitute, now looks like he'll be coming off. Might be clear skies here at Hensley, but when it rains, it pours. For Hakoah, James Coombs will come off. We'll find out who that substitute is shortly. It is going to be a makeshift back line. Not to mention, there's a corner to take. Rockdale. Katsionis, man coming onto the pitch, able to get him into the box before this set piece. Good looking delivery once more, this time more back post. Clever footwork, the dig to the back stick, just a bit too deep or too short, depending on what you think the player's going for. Jurasevsky not able to get on the end of it. It really is backs to the wall for Hakoah. What an incredible performance this would be if they could escape. Not just with 3 points, as we mentioned before. Is it at the point where they're looking at 1 point? Something achieved from this game. Petkovsky, he's headed backwards, tidied up. Ball evading Jurasevsky. Bratisevic just having a little chat to his centre-backs, clearly wanting to play it out from the back. Meanwhile, Rockdale again on the charge here. Jurasevsky still going, beats two players. Brilliant footwork. Unfortunately, that last touch coming back off him. Goal kick, but Alek Jurasevsky finally getting some touches on this left-hand side for Rockdale. The move seems to fancy him rather than playing as a striker. Give that role to Jordan Fegan. After that bright start from Hakoah, lights are starting to go out. Shanak happy to go back. Egger. A Sorge on the right-hand side. And ball, I believe, is the call against Josh Swadling. Braden Sorge trying to be a bit sneaky, making a run down the right-hand side. Rockdale happy to slow it down somewhat. Do have quite a number of tall bodies in their 11 today. Against what is admittedly a rather small Hakoah unit. Alek Jurasevsky. With his left-footed delivery, decides to play it short. Maybe a little bit of a training ground routine. It's fair to say it's not come off. Fegan claiming the throw-in, accepts it gratefully, gets us restarted. Gets another throw in now. Ball cleverly kept in play. Vranjic with some heavy attention. Manages to get it wide eventually. Egger racing back to his centre-back position. Shanak towards the back post. Green, the header inside. Vranjic goes to ground. A few appeals for a penalty. Not heeded by the referee. Swadling wants the 1-2. Isn't going to get it. Vranjic didn't get his head up. Wanted Connor Shattuck to be there. That doesn't make it so. Yeah, another turnover. Petkovsky, happy just to thump it long. Quite clear that Rockdale have been the better of these two sides, at least so far in this first half. This needs to be taken with a slight dose of caution. We saw what happened last week. Can they exercise those demons? Dinked ball by Swadling into the area. Petkovsky gets up highest. He's collected after he wins that ball. Brave stuff by Daniel Petkovsky. Good leap from Robert Ezekiel to win that against his much taller opponent in Shanak. Reads that one too. Good first touch. Harry Jones been a little quiet in this contest. Good footwork. The ball down the line. Trying to release Shattuck. It is extremely well defended. Radisevic's clearance goes straight to Swadling. Happy to take his man on. Cleared out of the area. Rockdale again, though, sitting very deep. 5 or 6 players, maybe more, within their own penalty area. Vranjic's header over the crossbar. A few questions being asked by Petkovsky, by his fellow defenders. Evidently part of the game plan by Nick Bareka. Happy to sit nice and deep, allow Hakoah to swing in some crosses. Defense is going to need to deal with them. Excellent chest down. Thumping chest down. Shanak's pass back to Fondike. Results in a bit of a turnover. Howard Fondike sitting in a centre mid or defensive midfield role. Hasn't had a lot to do. Happy to play those first time passes as you see right there. No doubt just aiming to hold on to possession in the middle of the park. He's got space on the right if he wants it. He does indeed. Sorge, clever ball inside, unfortunately for Rockdale. Spins away from Jurasevsky. Katsionis. Might not have thought he'd be getting some game time tonight. First Bowic, then Coombs going down injured. Means he has a lot of football to play. Lovely spread to this right-hand side. Connor Shattuck. Gets it back from Walker. Wants to run down the line. Harry Jones. Well defended once more. So we tick towards the end of the first half here at Hensley Athletic. It is Rockdale who have their precious goal. Been a bit under the pump with this deep defence. Wouldn't say there's been too many clear-cut chances, but defending duties need to be stuck to. Ezekiel once again making this run down the left. He's got two to beat. Tries some trickery, is able to get through before the third man comes in. Does very well, not just to win the ball, wins the goal kick for his team. As we just talked about, Howard Fondike with not a lot of work to do this evening. What he's done extremely well. One of those centre defensive mids doing all the yard work. They often get the glory. Shannock going down. Referee a little late to blow his whistle. Draws some criticism from the home crowd. It looked like Ezekiel did make a heavy challenge. Linesman also flagging. What it all means is Jurasevsky and his magic left foot in a brilliant position. Is he going to go direct, or is he going to use that tall timber of his teammates? I think it's clear the fans want him to take this on. Jurasevsky tries the little dink flick header. Eventually in the back of the net. It's a little scrappy once more. Rockdale won't mind one bit. The dink ball into the area. The header off the defender. Clash of bodies. 2-0 to Rockdale City Suns right before halftime. That's an ambitious, or maybe even frustrated, Maury Gauthier taking the kickoff. Going for what looked like a shot. Not on target, not with the legs. As we tick on over to 2 minutes of additional time. Even the poor ground announcer here at Hensley sounds a bit forlorn. No doubt those defensive injuries not helping. One of those goals that was conceded before Pej Boich departed. In desperate need of a bit of luck and just not getting it. Gauthier going to ground again. Taken quickly. Swaddling, standing it up at the back stip. It's very deep. Bratasevic. As comfortable as you like. Stands this one up. Ezekiel once again getting the prime real estate. He's doing as well as he can against Alexander Shanak. Sorge doing well, Fegan. Rockdale playing it out of a tight area. Now they want to go back down that line. Header back inside by Katsionis. Comfortable to Ryan Norval. Must be one frustrated figure. Not anything he was able to do for either of the goals. And that is the thought we dwell on as we hit half-time here at Hensley Athletic Park. They won't make the highlight reels of the season's best goals. They are as precious as gold to Rockdale City Suns. Got their second right before half-time. Is Hakoah 0, Rockdale City Suns 2. Welcome back to the second half of your Sunday evening NPL New South Wales football. It's Hakoah with it all to do, and Rockdale already on the attack, playing it through, all the way through to Jurasevski, unable to get his attempt on target. The opening 20 seconds, Rockdale almost collecting a third. We'll try and go again on that little first half wrap. 2-0, of course, to Rockdale City Suns. Jordan Fegan with the opener before Lee Egger added a second. Both goals after some deflections, some bundling around in the area. Those were the two men to eventually pull them home. Assuming we don't see something like last week, Rockdale looking like they are going to be back into the top 5. Petkovsky going long, looking for Fegan. Unable to find him, but falls to Jurasevski. Clever footwork. Back we go. Jurasevski again, a sliding challenge from Katsionis. Here's Rockdale with all the early attacking play. This ball from Thorndike to the back stick. Jurasevski getting the first and second touch. Eventually coming back off a Rockdale player for a goal kick. Might have expected Hakoah to be coming out firing in this second half. Hopefully, for the home team's sake, they haven't given up on this game. Hopefully it's not a foregone conclusion. They are going to need to score the next goal in this encounter if they're going to have a sniff. Green back to Walker. He'll play it out to Shattuck on this right-hand side. Shattuck, the right back. Onset inside. It's not going to get it. Petkovsky with a heavy challenge, and then a clever little flick over the top as well. Pressure coming in. Coming off Makura, the very last. He kicks that one away. Shattuck through the legs. Clever. Green. Harry Jones taking the free kick nice and quickly. Ezekiel back to Jones. Jones looking for Vranic. I'm not sure if Vranic truly believed it was coming through to him. Checked his run a little bit. Goal kick to Rockdale. Three away points to Rockdale would really be the perfect tonic to a rather difficult week. We're knocked out of the FFA Cup to Manly United in a game that went to extra time. Looked like it was going to go to a penalty shootout before you know what. Rockdale certainly look like they've meant business here this evening. Happy to sit nice and deep in defence in that first half, and then striking with some dangerous counter-attacking football. Chip ball forwards looking for Vranic. Can only find Egger, who's added a rare goal to his collection. And now Jurasevski, sneaky ball forward. Fegan tries to roll it in, and that he does. Rockdale, the counter-attacking team of this season, show why they have that mantle. Jurasevski plays his ball perfectly into Jordan Fegan, whose finish was not powerful, but most importantly, it was accurate. And he makes it 3-0 to Rockdale City Suns. It is Rockdale jogging back to their mark. I think they want more. After letting it sleep last week after dramatic FFA Cup exit, they're here to show that they belong in the top 5 of NPL New South Wales. Hakoah, meanwhile, going to need some leaders, some individuals to stand up and try and take this game by the scruff of the neck because it's quickly slipping away. Green, clever first touch. Not a lot of passing options on. It's going to have to go back and across. That it does. Shadakbik inside. Harry Jones, once again, looking for Vranic, but number 23, Adrian Vranic, clearly not quite on the same length as his teammates. He has actually scored against Rockdale before, but that was playing for Mount Druitt. He's not been able to replicate that sunny afternoon at Illendon here for his new club. Strong from Walker initially. Shattuck collects the bounce. Cotton driving inside. Once again, after the attacking run, they are forced to go backwards. You see that Rockdale defence sit nice and deep. Well read that time. Egger must be having one of his favourite games. Lee Egger on the score sheet. 3-0 up. You've helped your side to what looks like a crucial victory. Overlapping Manly United. McNeil, Rockdale's left back, clever ball inside and then continues his run. Excellent defence, El Hafian not given any room to work in. El Hafian dropping a little deeper than we're used to seeing, and really that's created the space for his teammates up front. He's been happy to draw the attention of the defenders. And this Rockdale unit really looks in sync. Strong challenge by Ezekiel. Can't beat the second man coming in though. Finds his way to Walker. Hakoah not clear yet. A few keepy uppies, eventually settled well. Not a lot of room to work in. Forces the ball down the line. Sorge's long delivery. Not beneficial. Switch to Shattuck a little heavy. Connor Shattuck unable to keep it in play. This is going to be Hakoah's final substitution. There's still 35 or so minutes left to play. Bradley Walker hands over that captain's armband. Hopefully for the home team then, there's not going to be any more unfortunate injuries. Otherwise, they'll be stuck with 10. It's confirming Shohei Okuno is the man to come onto the pitch. Another starter of Hakoah's last week, who dropped to the bench for this clash. He has his chance to make an impact. Would be quite an incredible comeback if Hakoah can turn this one around. Meanwhile, Rockdale still in the attack. Jurasevsky playing it out wide. Swung back into the middle. Well dealt with by Shattuck, who'd come across to fill the gap left by his centre-back. Some fierce tackling in the middle. Finds its way forward for Rockdale. Bit of holding and then a bit of a trip as well, just outside the area. Yellow card is raised. He was happy to lay the last one off to his teammates, and indeed it did produce a goal, but one feels left foot of Alek Jurasevsky was made for this type of situation. That said, he doesn't seem to be the main player over the ball. Thorndike placing it and shaping up for it. Fegan's there as well. I'd be thinking you'd be looking to Jurasevsky to continue his brilliant work. Eventually, those two stand off it. And so it's Thorndike. Always going wide. Header onwards, races all the way through. Petkovsky and Bratisevich not on the same page. The former putting it out of play and presenting Hakoah with an attacking corner. Ball swung deep. Header collects the goalkeeper after he punched it away. Rockdale happy to play it back, inviting that pressure of Hakoah before trying to surge into that space. Unfortunately for them, Sorge with a heavy touch. You can see the game plan, particularly with Hakoah chasing this one. Trying to invite those midfielders, then use the space left in behind to surge into. First touch from Cotton. Can't hold on to it. Does, however, backtrack extremely well to tidy up. Shattuck says anywhere will do. Now Green, two heavy touches. Leaves a little something on Mikura as well. Thankfully he's okay. Lovely flick onwards. It's going to be a little too close to the goalkeeper. Well checked as well by Katsionis. Sorge racing back into his position. That's where this goal kick is aimed. In fact, kept in play by Gauthier initially. Vranic didn't realise, or maybe didn't believe. That pressure coming a bit too late. Rockdale, there's space on the left-hand side. not seen. Jordan Fegan, of course, now looking for his hat-trick. Was in acres of space, unable to be found. Cotton again, searching inside. Beats the first three, can't beat the fourth. Doesn't really have much support to speak of. Rockdale, dink inside a little heavy. Shattuck comfortably back to Norval. Little flick of the wrist to get us back underway. Bit of space to play into. Invitation not taken by Gauthier. Akuno into the area. Good stretch from Petkovsky to get it clear. Now we're going to see those yellow jerseys racing forward. Mikura with some composure. Back to his goalkeeper, but then Padasevic hits it out of play. Rockdale frontmen saying, why didn't you just play it forward the first time? Cotton. Inside. Akuno. Shapes to cross a few times before bailing out. Under a lot of pressure, eventually wins through. Ball is swung in viciously by Cotton. It's going to go all the way out to this left-hand side, Swaddling. Little dink ball again. Not quite sure who it was to. Is all looking rather like Hakoah are about to extend their winless run to 11 matches. Rather unfortunate injuries to their defenders, certainly not helping things. Here he is, what ended up being the third choice centre-back, Katsionis, tidying up. Well, Hakoah might have beaten Rockdale the last time they met. That scoreline is currently mirrored exactly. 3-goal win. It's turned into a 3-goal deficit as it stands. Could there be more to come? Jones racing forward. Good defending. That last touch comes off him as well. Don't the Rockdale fans rather just love that? Good to see quite a number of them travelling out here to Hensley this evening. Could excuse them for being a little perturbed after what happened last weekend, what happened midweek. They really are some of the most passionate fans we have here in NPL New South Wales. Have, of course, recently celebrated their 50-year milestone. Do love the culture, the history of this competition. So many sides reflective of their communities. Hakoah trying to instill some pride back. Cotton, once again, a decent looking ball. No one on the end of it, and another ball fizzed in. The Hakoah attackers standing there looking for someone else to be the man to put it in. Not to be. Fegan being held onto does brilliantly well to get the free kick. Now a few handbags. Fegan would surely be wise here just to walk away and get out of it. His side have the ascendancy. Now there's an arm around Vranjic. Hat-trick doesn't count if you add a yellow card to it. Get back to playing the football we've seen and you've been doing so well this evening. It is all now smiles and handshakes up that end of the pitch. Katsionis and Figon. Bit of backslapping. Credit to the referee there for not escalating that situation. Gautier's flick back. Not read by a teammate. Now surging forward. Still going here, unfortunately. That little tackle for Rockdale means the run on the right-hand side is offside. Now with the midfielders not yet back in position, Hakoah on the break. Swung in near post, all the way through, and a save off the line by Bratasevic. I can't believe what I've just seen. Green with what looked like a tap-in. Stopped and propped, stopped in the air. Bratasevic bats it away, incredible. I think poor Oliver Green's still in a bit of disbelief. He had his hands on his head. Not sure how on earth he has not scored. There's going to be a substitution for Rockdale. El Hafian has had a tremendous shift tonight. Believe his work may well be done. Just trying to confirm who that new man is for you. I think it may be Savor. We'll confirm that shortly, one way or another. Shattuck searching ball down the line. Hans Gauthier has to try and get past his man, unable to do so. Had Akuno in support, didn't want to use him. Shahir Akuno now on the ball. Clever through the legs by Akuno. Gauthier this time again ignores. And Akuno, not sure if he believed he was offside, but well, those two players, no doubt, thriving in ability, just not able to link up. Petkovsky now down. Curse of the centre backs. If there was a time you needed to call it quits, 3-0 up with 20 or so minutes left is probably the time to do it. Also, not a bad time to start a chant. Can finally confirm for you, Patrick Savor, the man to come onto the pitch. Saw Matthew Lecce doing some warm-ups, but if he's coming on, it's going to be a little later in the piece. Daniel Petkovsky, while walking off the pitch, does not look to be moving particularly freely. He's signaling that he wants to continue. maybe it's best not to risk the big centre back. He walks back onto the field now. Shattuck again, the long ball. Petkovsky showing no signs of any injury. Winning that big header. Play back underway after that substitution. I believe Lecce now is on the field. As mentioned, he was warming up. Hakoah, meanwhile, on the attack. And once again, teammates not on the same page. Numbers around the ball, runs being made, a pass not being played. Alek Jurasevski's moved over to this left-hand side now. Those front three for Rockdale have been rotating in their positions. Hakoah's defence likes to stay nice and narrow. If they're willing to make the switch, they will find their front man in a lot of space. Meanwhile, it's Hakoah trying to break this midfield line. Shattuck's played quite a few long balls today. There's another one. Vranic more or less giving up on it. Akuno losing the football. And that ball was a bit heavy. Was looking for the run of Jurasevski. Can't find him. Egger jogging back into his position. Cotton. Swadling now on the right. Josh Swadling. You have to say, energy in defence from Rockdale. One more sub to be made. We'll see if we can keep up with this one. Petkovsky is coming off. He's going to hand over the captain's armband. Petkovsky has been talked about. No point risking him. He gets a handshake from the referee as well. Always get full-blooded commitment from Daniel Petkovsky. He can put the feet up for the final 15 minutes. Hakoah with Connor Shattuck. Vranic does win this long ball. On the left-hand side, Hakoah. Only see those yellow jerseys. Try to move it quickly through the midfield. Clever footwork from Green. Ball eventually swung in by Ezekiel towards the back stick. Still in there for Hakoah. Gauthier. Shot blocked. Then Cotton not able to keep it in play. Nicholas Petrillo on the football now. The man to replace Petkovsky joins Egger in the centre of defence for the away side. Little back heel there, very clever from Fondijk to retain possession. Fondijk again, trying to get this play restarted. Falls kindly to Gauthier. Rockdale defence tidying up. Back we go to Bratisevich. Pumps it forward. Looking for the dual goal scorer. Figon's touch a little heavy. Pressure being applied by Oliver Green. They go only as far as Shattuck. It's getting a little untidy. Hakoah settle. Jones. Wants the run of Cotton. Once again, that pass a little too heavy. Ball out on this right-hand side. Jurasevsky's free if it can find him. Unfortunately for Rockdale, unable to. Katsionis getting it clear. Jurasevsky lurking dangerously on that left-hand side. Throw in for Rockdale. Going central. Trying to turn his man. Norval alert to the danger. Makes the save at the near post. Could Rockdale perhaps add a fourth to their tally? What a response it's been from them here tonight. Goes at near post. Harry Jones perfectly stationed to get that one away. Very good defending as well. Tackle back in off the Hakoah player. Happy to go back and play it down this left-hand side. Much to the delight, I'm sure, of McNeil. He's not had a lot to do in this second half. Left back finding himself very high up the pitch. A few spins coming out. Cotton impressing with his footwork. Manages to win the free kick. Down the left. Good header away. Petrillo more than capable of fulfilling a centre-back duty. Dare say there'd be a few sides. Be quite a comfortable starter. As it is, he finds himself in the reserves. Maybe if he does an impressive job, keeps it nice and tight. It's one for Nick Pareka to look at. I say this, of course, with that Petkovsky injury. We're not sure how serious it is. It's important to have some good squad depth. It's really tested at this time of the season. With a chest down, Fegan able to spread it to this right-hand side. Shot on goal, Norval bounces off him, and there's another rebound goal. Ryan Norval unable to collect it cleanly. Bounces around, eludes the defender. Comfortable into the back of the net. Rockdale make it 4. The Jurasevsky chant goes up once more. Being the provider most of the time this evening. Alek Jurasevsky this time gets his goal to make it 4. Rockdale fans chanting louder than ever. As if there was any doubt. That has sealed the result here this evening. This proud club now able to start the celebrations. Was Jurasevsky's first goal this evening. Egger also collecting one, and then Fegan with the double to make the 4. These away fans know finals football firmly within reach. Dare I say now, there's Toulouse as they find themselves back up where they believe they belong. Meanwhile, Hakoah, corner kick. Eventually very well cleared by Lecce. On the ground, still able to get it away. Rockdale now searching for a 5th. No doubt wanting to keep a clean sheet. Full of running is Neal. But so is Jurasevsky. Goes down the right-hand side where there is quite a bit of space. First time strike, Norval watches it go past his post. Rockdale did almost make it 5. Few Hakoah fans quite clearly have seen enough. Not being what this club was hoping for this evening. One wonders how it might have been different without those injuries. As it is, 4-0 deficit. Down the left-hand side, excellent challenge. Sorge still showing full-blown commitment in the dying moments. It's back to the drawing board for Gavin Ray and his assistant staff. Oliver Green almost dragging the jersey off Petrillo, who comes back in with a shove. Really didn't appreciate the attention. Petrillo actually goes into the book for that shove. The Rockdale fans just keep chanting. Header away by Katsionis. Only as far as the Rockdale midfield. Inside the area, going this way and that, looking for the ball in. Norval lunging at it, grabs it at the second attempt. Lecce swings it. This player is not offside. Back inside, the shot on goal from Thorndike. Blazes over the crossbar. Arms up in frustration. He knows could have been a collector's item for himself. Could have made it 5. If that's the worst problem you've had during 90 minutes of football, you've had a good night. And it has been a good night for Rockdale City Suns. Mari Gautier plays it back. Green fouled after distributing that ball. Play will come back. Harry Jones still full of enthusiasm. He's got the captain's armband. He's trying to show some leadership out there. Can Hakoah score a consolation goal perhaps? Towards the back stick, well defended. Will just be the corner. Cotton was lurking dangerously. McNeil doing his defensive work extremely well. That corner high and wide. Out for a goal kick. It's just not come together on the night for Hakoah. Leaves them with still just the 2 wins now from 14 matches this season. Still just 9 goals scored. Gatsionis standing up under pressure, spinning out of that as well. Well done by the substitute. Swadling playing it out wide. Akuno. Cross towards the back post. Leg dangle it out, gets the job done. Thorndike tidying up. May well get that switch to the left-hand side. No. We still keep waiting. Jurasevsky keeps waiting. Kuno to Swadling. Oliver Green unable to get a touch on that. Loses possession for his side. How about now? Jurasevsky gets the switch he's been begging for the last 30 minutes. Means he's able to release McNeil. Neil, the ball across, fizzed. Coming off, I believe. Hakoah defender or not? Goal kick. Came in at such a pace. Rockdale attackers unable to get it under their spell. Fegan's search for his hat-trick continues. He's not got much time to do it. Once again, a forward pass from a Hakoah player. Not finding the intended target. Perhaps a few might have thought Rockdale showing some signs of fatigue after their heavy workload. FFA Cup duties, of course. They've been full of beans from start to finish. Throw and taken quickly. Lecce. Asking for the foul, saying he was being held on to. Referee saying no, shoulder to shoulder. So we click on into 2 minutes of additional time. Question now is 5 for Rockdale. Hat-trick for Fegon. Or will we just stop at the 4? Savor losing that football. Hakoah on the break. Gautier letting out a scream of frustration. He was through, unable to be found. This time is Shanak on the left-hand side. It's been wide open all night. Rockdale had preferred to try and keep it on the floor, pass it through the middle. That free kick being brought back, taken a little too quickly for the referee's liking. Run of Yurosevsky not timed, or some might argue. Maybe the pass wasn't. It's all much ado about nothing in these closing stages. Rockdale trying to keep a clean sheet. One of the men responsible for that, Braden Sorge, fully committed in all of his challenges. Tracked back with aplomb. Dare I say, space on this left-hand side for Rockdale. Neil, more or less playing as a left winger. He does receive it now. Neil going to ground. Referee now waves the advantage. Spread to the right-hand side. Fondike wants it. He's not going to get it. Onto the top of the area. Eventually, Hakoah are able to get it clear. Was a match that promised so much, that held so much for these two sides. Hakoah trying to climb out of bottom position. But in fact, they just get entrenched deeper into it. Rockdale City Suns respond with aplomb. Embarrassment, one might say, against Marconi. Crushing disappointment against Manly. Absolute joy and celebration here at Hensley Athletic. 2 goals in the first half, 2 more in the second. Means we finish off Hakoah Sydney City East 0. Rockdale City Suns 4.